Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace Television. This is part 2 of the broadcast. iTunes App Store missing in iTunes PC Windows version 12.7.0.166. Are we being sabotaged? So the problem is that we have iTunes, and here we used to have the apps that's missing, and then I read that that's normal. Apple streamlines iTunes 12.7 by removing the App Store. Removes App Store. And then we can go, for example, to Apple support, changes in new iTunes. So let's read this then. This all takes time, of course.
Changes in the new iTunes. Learn about changes to apps, iTunes U, internet radio, and more. The new iTunes focuses on music, movies, TV shows, podcasts, and audiobooks. Apps for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch are now exclusively available in the new App Store for iOS, and the new App Store makes it easy to get, update, and re-download apps, all without a Mac or PC. You'll find these changes in the new iTunes apps. Looking for your past iOS app downloads? Learn how to re-download apps on your iOS device. iTunes U. Collections of iTunes U content appear in the podcasts section of iTunes. Internet radio. Your internet radio stations appear in your music library's sidebar. Click Edit in the sidebar to show or hide internet radio. Ringtones. iOS 11 supports re-downloading ringtones directly to your iOS device, without the need to use iTunes on your Mac or PC. Books on Windows. Books on iTunes for Windows are managed in iBooks for iOS. Learn how to re-download books on an iOS device.
This is utterly nuts, is it not? I mean, I was wondering if I reinstall an older version of iTunes, if then I would be able to get to the App Store on my PC. I don't want to use the wireless. I don't want to use cancer cell phone radiation. The evidence that proves that it causes cancer, lumping red blood cells, DNA damage is on 999prologic999.blog2blog.nl and other websites. So then how can I do that without radiation, you know? Let's see if I have some kind of app. Let's try Synkios. Then I first close iTunes. So, I don't know if I understand it correctly, but they want us to re-download all these fucking apps on our iPhone from the App Store. That's only available on your iPhone and not on the PC anymore. And then if you want to tether it, then that's the other way around, so that you cannot connect the iPhone to a PC that is wired. You have to use the cancer cell phone radiation. And then they want us to believe that this is not another depopulation thing. There are 6 Jews that want to depopulate the earth, and lots of non-Jews as well. Or at least that Turner of CNN. And it's fucking insane. So people are tyrannized and people are depopulated. They cannot even use their iPhone anymore. So how do I install that Pebble app without using cancer, cell phone radiation is the question. New version, install, update, then. I'm not even sure if that's for iPhone. iFunbox I think doesn't work anymore with this updated version. Install updates. Top 3 iPhone managers. iOS and Android manager. Customize, install. Can this even handle apps? I doubt it. So installing iCloud didn't help either to access my apps. I don't know if it automatically starts up with Windows. How do I close this? This is so annoying. Sign out. Weird. Apps. Right, it seems to still work. Question is how long, if they've altered the operating system. So then I'll have to download the IPA file manually. I've backed the iPhone, several backups, so that means I can reuse that backup basically if I want to. And I think I may have backed up the app files as well. Okay. Well, it cannot open it anymore with iTunes. Oh, we are not allowed to use. I don't don't want it to sync, I think. Okay. So we have version 4.4. It's firmware. I was looking for the Pebble app. The app to install on your cancer cell phone to get the watch to work. It's the same as with Android watches. Now you can use aluminum foil. To reduce the amount of radiation with a factor 400 or so. I thought, wow, now I can download it. But no, of course, it's not possible this way. I turned off the restrictions and it still didn't work. Same. Must have entered to your iTunes account, no bigger tricks. Anyway, that's not a problem. How to install apps to iPhone without iTunes? No, I was looking for one of those programs with access to the store. Basically, I first need to download the app, the IPA file. I need to wear my hoodie. So I can install it with the Android, but I want my iPhone to work as well, so I'm just looking for a good solution also for this video. But basically you can use Synkios to install apps also. You can click add here, add apps, and then you can add an IPA file. Apple sets new 150 megabytes ceiling for over-the-air App Store downloads. So for Android you have these websites where you can fill in the link to the official Android app and then it will download it. So then I'm happy that I didn't buy an Apple smartwatch. Basically, one of the problems with these displays is that it drains the battery too fast. I think iFunbox is not working anymore either. Your iTunes is not supported for now. So now I have to downgrade iTunes basically before version 17. So iFunbox is using I have a 324 2017 version. iFunbox is using iTunes. I'm gonna try to install the old version, but I think that won't work. Basically, it wasn't working anymore. It wasn't showing the App Store anymore, I think, but I'm not sure. Late version of iTunes is already installed on this computer. Click Finish to exit the installer. So, fuck. Everybody's fucked in a major way, basically. Of course, the official creator of Apple, Steve Jobs, may also have been murdered with these scalar weapons, etc., by inducing cancer in people, which they may do to 1 in 2 people. So it's a matter of staying out of the cancer cell phone radiation, etc., but they're constantly attacking my throat. I don't know if they do that with the centipede or with their beam. I think it's with their beam, with the ARE in Poker Flat, Alaska. So they're not using HAARP, but when people say HAARP, they mean the ARE, the camouflaged frequency independent phased array antenna park in Poker Flat, Alaska, which is used for the directed energy weapon torture, creating hurricanes and earthquakes, depopulating Earth, and they can remotely kill and torture anybody, and nobody believes it because they're all controlled with synthetic telepathy, and they're trying to set it up like it's a joke, basically. So then they pretend that it's satire, that they're liquefying people's brainstem and brain controlling and torturing people with scalar waves, which is the same as Nikola Tesla's wireless energy. So they're lying to the people on a major scale, also scientists, to help cover it up and get a piece of the pie. And the pie is basically created by depopulating the earth, and you have all these houses and everything they own. That's often sold at very low prices. Also, all my stuff basically was sold. I may have explained it in one of my broadcasts, I'm not going to explain it now. But basically it boils down to they control people in your environment and they can let people steal things and sell your stuff. My father was scammed. Scammers with fake shares and shit. Before that we were well to do. So the people in Africa and other countries, he was driving there to Amsterdam. He also even went to Africa for this. So he's lucky that he's still alive, basically. Anyway, it's like nobody wants to help me to achieve negligible senescence and create a perfect society in which we all live happily eternally, because the brain controlled and tortured and depopulated by the Jesuits and Masons. So I'm not blaming all Jewish people for this. Some other people think that that's proper. But before I have evidence that proves they're all involved in this, and that's impossible. Babies cannot think, they cannot talk, so they cannot be involved in depopulating the earth. Hence, it is impossible that all Jewish people are involved in it. Literally, it's impossible. Though, of course, if they all hear a voice to skull message and they've all been hypnotized during their sleep, and the neural network is getting better and better, the voice of God weapon, then that needs to be exposed before 7 billion people die, perhaps in an Iran world war or whatever. So this is just to steal time, basically. Perhaps I shouldn't have updated. I cannot download to a lower iTunes version, then I have to uninstall it perhaps, and then install the old version. That's one idea. Another idea is using aluminum foil to install the apps with the cancer cell phone. You have to use it anyway for the watch faces and shit. With Android Wear, with these Pebble watches, etc. With Android, there are other ways to do that. With these file managers. And I'm still searching, I'm still searching, looking for a file manager, basically, for Windows, for the IPA apps, basically, to download these and install them. For Android, you have these Mobile Market and other apps that I don't want to use that have the commercial built in. That pops up on your screen. That's very annoying, so I'm using another one. And it's a long time ago that I did this, so it seems to be erased from my mind, more or less. It's also because I'm in a tortured state. They're taking my spine and my throat on the left side. So they want to use the method, they want to force people to use their cancer cell phone radiation thing, basically. So that we're all bathed in the cancer cell phone radiation and die. So the main thing is depopulating the earth. And what you hear in your skull is always a selection of the neural network. So if anybody knows a method to download Apple apps on a PC, basically, without using cancer cell phone radiation, please Skype Prologic999. People can always Skype me when they feel like it. I've asked my father if my Skype is, if I'm online, if I have minimized Skype. So basically when I do this, then I think that downstairs with my father, the Skype is on offline. That's called Skype preview, so it's not the full Skype version, you could argue. So perhaps that's sabotaged as well, but that would be extremely, then they've deliberately sabotaged it. If I minimize Skype but it's still open, if I then cannot receive any messages, here you see this thing changing, basically. Let's see if that happens again. Keep it closed while the status, but it seems to be updating the status, basically. So then I wonder if there's a setting that I have wrong. But I want to use this version because it's black. I have black theme also on Windows. And my Google search is black. I have a pretty big screen. And I can feel the beam basically, so they're using a pressure wave below my jaw, on my throat, right here. And then if I go in circles and I apply some pressure, basically I've been tortured for 10 years. So now it's very hard to detect because they can attack very accurately, but it needs to determine your position accurately to do the attack, and it's done by sending a lot of radiation, basically sort of pressure wave. It can also do these spasm attacks and stuff. So I'm not controllable with torture, directed energy weapon torture, etc. It's illegal, but they don't give a fuck. Instant messages on. Instant messages from anyone. So what I can do is keep it like this, and keep it open on top without minimizing it to be reachable. So I can check downstairs if I am, but then I'd have to log into the PC. Unless one of them is on. I go check if I am now available on Skype. My Skype is open. Well, I've checked and it seems to be available. Let's see if I turn off Skype like this. Now I'm gonna check again if I'm still reachable, and then I'll give myself a call to see if we can open up Skype. Skype is now ringing. See if it's gonna open fast enough. I don't know how long it will keep ringing, but how can it ring when my Skype is turned off? Missed call. Call started. So whatever, I keep it minimized then. This way I should be reachable. And I've shown in previous broadcasts how to start up Skype with Windows. You have to make an icon manually, and you have to place that in the startup folder, which is also kind of hidden in the newer Windows. For Windows. So it would be cool if all these Apple apps would become available so that we can download them and install them. Most of them are file explorer programs, and you can browse your several settings and back them up, etc. And also back up your apps, but there's no way. You'd have to find the IPA file. Perhaps somebody can send me that IPA file. Pebble and old Pebble and other files for the Pebble watches for the iPhone. Android is easy to download, so I guess I'll have to use the Android then. So the cancer cell phone radiation should be the last resort, but because of the brain control, many people do that, I think. Update. There we are again. 2013 they had version 1.1. Now they have latest is 4.4. Did I download this already? I think I just click on this. Oh yeah, but then it takes us to iTunes again. If I choose iPhone box, but then that setting is changed. They are ITMSS links. So if I don't click remember my choice, then it will go to the default next time. And I've also my phone. Let's see. There's no apps either. No app store. Robo, perhaps. iDevices and Android. Well, we can check if that still works. Bad gateway. Bad. Through CNET, perhaps. Oh. Let me get that annoying tune. I wonder how I can block this. That video. I already clicked download now. Must do another virus scan. Everything is disintegrating. That's what I mean, annoying. Oh, bad gateway. Now, the mouse pointer was hanging. On alternative2.net you can find alternatives to program. ARE more is just through the AIR, cancer cell phone radiation, basically, I think. And how many people like Mobile Robo? Is there a link to the download thing? No site configured at this address. Other one, mobile play. Official website. No site configured at this address. It reminds me of the alt-right websites. Hillary dubs it alt-right. That have disappeared. For example, Stormfront and Daily Stormer. Let's see if Daily Stormer has a new website now. They retreated to the dark web now. They're hitting them where it hurts. Okay, I could try to get to try this thing. Whoa. Clay. This is the cache page. Mobile play for PC. Latest version. Sign in to start the download. I don't want to sign in. One 1.3.130. Downloaded from CNET, safe and secure. With the cool tune. This will be fun. It still downloads. Well, let's give this a try then. Oh. Then if I download another one. Mobo Robo. I want Mobo Robo. Restart the download. But the video is blocked, so it's working. How did I do that? Wow.
This is CNET, and here are the stories that matter right now. Amazon's family of Echo products has had a major update, with the company unveiling a new Echo.
It should be blocked. Huh? Well, whatever. It seems to have disappeared, I thought. Previous time I had the option to block this frame. What did I just close? Die. So it's very good at it. So it's controlling our minds and everything is depopulating. We should forget all the bullshit and what you hear focus on is always the selection of the neural network. That downstairs with my father, the Skype is on offline. That's called Skype. Offline. That's called Skype preview, so it's not the full Skype version, you could argue. So perhaps that's sabotaged as well. That's called Skype. Offline. That's controlling our minds and everything is depopulating. I think it was Synkios or whatever. What you hear focus on is always the selection of the neural network. So it's control. So basically when I do this, then I think that downstairs with my father, the Skype is on offline. That's called Skype preview, so it's not the full Skype version. So the main thing is depopulating the Earth. And what you hear in your skull is always a selection of the neural network. Time indication is missing, but I have seen here that I can also add controls changed thumbnail. So you can put a thumbnail in there for your broadcast. So if anybody knows a method to download Apple apps on a PC, well, I'm not finding it. You can easily check it out on the broadcast with the time, because parts of it have been repeated now. Then it's harder to find the point where I clicked on this app here and I thought perhaps it has some icons. If it was not Synkios, then what was it? Let's try mobile play. I should close my browser for a while. 26 steps. Another application. Well, it's using iTunes, so it won't work, I bet.
Changes in the new iTunes. Learn about changes to apps. iTunes U, Internet Radio.
Changes. Oh, I should have chosen iTunes. Fuck.
D.
I reconnect my iPhone.
C.
Oh, this is mobile play for iOS. Close Android version. Connecting, it says. So I bet I should open that thing with I should reinstall it. Tons of apps available. Brand new UI, improved features, fast and secure. Then I will first uninstall it with iObit uninstaller. No about market. Let's uninstall them both. Powerful scan. So though I selected both files, it only installed one. But why I think it won't work anymore, because it uses iTunes, so you can select the file and everything goes alright until it attempts to install the file, and that won't work anymore. But just to be sure, I can try to reinstall it one more time. Doesn't take that long. You can fast forward. Here it should give the links with iTunes somewhere. Perhaps it's in settings. I can link it to iTunes in settings, perhaps. No date is shown when this is this one. Shows the device surface. Well, where's mobile play? It's still running supposedly, but I don't see the icon anywhere. Let's end this task. Compatibility telemetry.
D. C. C.
This is mobile play for iOS. Connecting, it says again. Are there other apps that are okay? Well, what we can try then is uninstalling the new version of but I think that doesn't work with the old version, that you have to update to be able to access the App Store or whatever. It's not connecting. Setting. Right, let's remove it totally again. Because I think that maybe with the annoying commercials also, if it doesn't work, it's no use. So there's a reason that it's not working anymore. And maybe Apple. So then trying to get the IPA file may be best. I think we already used that. My screen is becoming yellow, or it's automatic after sundown. Well then, perhaps somebody can send me the IPA file. It sucks. So for now, to use my PC faster, I'm gonna temporarily halt this broadcast for universal peace.